Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my humble home, my casa, my hacienda on the windy hills of Livingston, Montana. Okay, today's date is March 19th of 2022. As a matter of fact, March 19th is one of my brother's birthdays, so happy birthday there, Nick, but I better keep my trap shut because I don't think this particular brother of mine does too much social media or any of that, which I don't either. But anyway, that's beside the point. Today, what I'm going to talk about is wooden archery arrows. I think that's a pretty safe subject here on YouTube. Wooden archery arrows. Now, I have a box here. There's only 6 arrows in here, and they're from a place called Rose City Archery. And Rose City Archery is in Myrtle Point, Oregon. And this is what this box looks like, the end of it anyway. Let's see if I can get this down here. These are called fancy arrows. And it's got the spine on them. It's got the diameter, which is 11/32, and some other pertinent information there, or whatever have you. Now, what I've been doing is, these particular arrows here are very fancy. They're crested, they're dipped, they're lacquered. They got barred turkey feathers on them, etc., etc., etc. They're spined and all of this other stuff. So, what does that mean? I have no idea, except for the fact that I don't own a spine tester, but I know how it's done. I'll try to explain that here. Well, before I open up this box, let me try to explain this best I can. I used to have, back when I was a young man, I had all this stuff, but I don't now. So I let some of these merchants do things for me. Let's put it that way. Did you take like this pencil right here? The way they figure out spine on wooden arrows, in this case, Port Orford Cedar, that's one of the better woods to make wooden arrows. They take an arrow like this, a shaft, and stretch it across 26 inches. Can you see what I'm doing here? They'll hang it between 26 inches, and they'll put a 2-pound weight right here, and however much that arrow deflects, if you will, deflects, bends, that's how much spine you've got there. The more bendability, the less stiff the arrow is. If the arrow doesn't bend very much, then it's a very stiff arrow. You see what I mean? So that's how they figure out if an arrow is, spine between, say, like 30 and 35 pounds, 35 and 40 pounds, 45, 50 pounds, or, like that. So there you are with that. That's just a real quick way of explaining how they spine arrows. But the arrows need to be matched, or otherwise you're going to be all over the target. Okay, well, let's get on with this deal here of opening up these arrows. Let's take a look at them. Yeah, hope I'm making sense today, because I have that feeling I'm not making sense to if I'm not making sense to myself, I'm sure not making sense to you. The problem with me is I always know what I always know what I want to say, but getting it out of my mouth in a fashion where you folks can understand it's a different story. But oh well, whatever here. Yeah, these are overstocked arrows. They're arrows that are seconds. They might have a little marring on the paint jobs and stuff like that, because there's quite a bit of work that goes into these type of creations. Let me tell you about it. There is. Back when I was younger, I used to take arrows like this and fletch them, dip them, lacquer them, put fletchings on them. That's the feathers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I used to do all that. So, but these are from Rose City Archery, okay? And 11/32 is 11/32 is the size of these. They're spined. I bought these particular ones here for a bow that's a little heavier than the long bow I'm going to be messing around with. But I've got a bunch of 5/16 arrows. I'm going to showcase them along with a quiver one day. But these are 11/32, and the next biggest size up is 23/64. Okay, I'm going to show you that cresting job on here, because that's pretty nice. These are hand painted and hand worked, by the way. And this is what they call a left helical feather. In other words, you look down the end of the shaft, the end of this shaft right here, and you'll see the feather curving off to the left. That's a left helical feather. That's the way the jig was set up when these were glued on the shafts, okay? And this is pretty nice feather, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, pretty nice feathered arrows, right? Let's see. Let me roll this up right there. Rose City Archery, if you can see that. Come on, come on. My autofocus is giving me trouble. But yeah, these arrows here have little markings on them. They're what they call seconds or overstock. The paint is a little bit scratched and stuff like that, but it doesn't affect the flight of this arrow at all, you know. So, and I had them put some 125 grain points on here for me because I don't have any points for your regular wooden arrows. Now, I realize that in the world of archery, what you're going to be dealing with is carbon arrows, aluminum arrows, wood arrows, and it's up to you. I'm not telling you to shoot wood arrows. As a matter of fact, it doesn't make any difference to me what you shoot. I like wood arrows because they're nostalgic, they're retro, they're old school. You know, there's just something really traditional, if you will, about these type of arrows. Okay. Now, let's see how much time. Okay, I'm into this for 6 minutes. But here you go. You know, like I say, Rose City Archery. I'm not trying to make this video too awful long, folks, you know. Okay, I've got another box arrows right here. I'm going to be closing this video down. I'm going to show you one arrow that I'm sure here on let me see if I can get this doggone thing. I'm sure on YouTube they probably don't like this, but unfortunately I can't. It's getting harder and harder for me to live up to the rules that these people want me to live by being a YouTube creator, but that's neither here nor there. Right here is a broad-headed arrow. These are used for hunting, but I'm not encouraging you to hunt necessarily. You know, I'm into archery because as an older man now, I want to exercise. I want to be able to create focus in my brain, which archery will do all that. You know, concentration, focus, help keep you in shape, etc., etc. But anyway, these are Zwicky broadheads right here. And these are made for hunting. I've only got 6 of them, but, you know, I decided to keep a few hunting arrows around. Now, these particular arrows right here are 5/16, and they're 5/16 of an inch in diameter, and they're spined, 35 to 40 pounds. That other one I just got done showing you is spined between 40 and 45 pounds. So there you are, Port Orford Cedar arrows. Okay. And I can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming up here on past, 8 minutes here, so I better, shut up and get gone before everybody gets bored. Thank you very much for visiting me in my home here. And we shall take care of yourselves, number one, and we shall see you on down the trail. Adios, my friends.